Here's the dating advice every man has been handed. Be consistent, be available, show her you care, put in the effort, be the good guy, so you did all of that. And somehow it still didn't work. She pulled back, or she chose someone else, or she said you were great, but. And you're sitting there wondering what you missed. Here's what no one is telling you. The advice wasn't wrong because you didn't follow it hard enough. The advice was wrong because it was never about character. It was about performance. And there is a world of difference between the two. If you've read the books, done the work, and you're still watching her choose someone else, what I'm about to show you isn't more advice. It's a pattern you've been living inside without ever seeing it. Think about the last time this happened. You met her. There was chemistry. Real chemistry. So you did what you were taught, you texted consistently. You made plans. You were emotionally available. You were honest about your feelings. And then slowly the energy shifted. Her replies got shorter. She started taking longer to respond. Something you couldn't name had changed. Here's what no one explains. Attraction is not a reward for good behavior. It is a response to a specific energy. And the brutal truth is this. When a man is performing for a woman's approval, no matter how good his values are, she can feel it. Not because she's cruel, because she is wired at a deep level to detect whether a man believes in his own worth. Here it is. The one thing most men never see. She didn't leave because you weren't enough. She left because your behavior signaled that you didn't believe you were. And once you see that, you cannot unsee it, because what she responded to wasn't your effort. It was your doubt. Point 1. The performance trap. Here's where this gets dangerous. Most of what men call effort in dating is actually anxiety wearing a costume. It is not devotion. It is performance. And there is a difference. Devotion says, I am showing up because I am a man of character. Performance says, I am showing up because I am afraid that if I don't, she will leave. Research on approval-seeking behavior from the American Psychological Association confirms this pattern. When a person's self-worth becomes contingent on another person's response, the anxiety produced is detectable. Partners sense it. It creates emotional distance rather than closeness. You send the good morning text, not because you felt moved to, but because you didn't want her to think you weren't thinking about her. You cancel plans with your friends, not because you genuinely wanted to see her that night, but because you were afraid of what it would look like if you didn't. That fear has a smell. And she picks it up. Not consciously, instinctively. The grounded man does not show up to prove himself. He shows up because showing up is consistent with who he is. That distinction is everything. And the performance trap is only the first layer. What drives the performance goes even deeper. Point 2. Borrowed confidence. A man who doesn't know his own worth will borrow his from someone else, and he will use her reaction as the measuring stick. If she replies quickly, he feels confident. If she goes cold, he spirals. His entire inner state is now leased to her. Ask yourself this honestly. How many times have you made a decision about how you were going to act around her based on how she acted toward you first? How many times has her mood set the tone for your day? That is not connection. That is dependency. And dependency is not what draws a woman toward a man. She goes quiet for a day. Suddenly you're replaying every conversation, wondering what you said, wondering if you pushed too hard, or not hard enough. You check your phone, nothing. And now your mood, your focus, your entire inner world belongs to her. Research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people whose self-worth is contingent on another person's approval often cause their partners to feel emotionally burdened, not drawn closer. The man whose worth is stable inside himself doesn't need her to confirm it. That stability is not coldness. That stability is what she is actually looking for. But there's one more layer most men skip completely. Point 3. The digital noise problem. Here's what this looks like in real life today. She's active on Instagram, posting stories, liking things. Your message has been sitting on read for 6 hours. So what do? Most men send another message, or double-check their last one, or start composing something that sounds casual but took 11 minutes to write. And this is exactly why it keeps backfiring. We are living in the age of infinite choices. She has 100 men in her notifications. Most of them are performing. Most of them are chasing, most of them are playing a game they don't even realize they're playing. And then there is the grounded man, who doesn't compete with the noise. He doesn't hint. He doesn't hope. He doesn't drop breadcrumbs and wait to see what she does with them. He clear codes. He says, calmly, clearly, without flinching, I know who I am. I know what I'm looking for. You get to decide if that's for you. Not as a demand, not as a performance, as a statement of character. In a world of digital noise and mixed signals, that kind of clarity is the most attractive thing a man can offer. She doesn't need another man who won't say what he wants. She is drowning in them. But none of this matters until you understand the final piece. Point 4. The Walkaway Standard. Here's the reversal nobody prepares you for. The man who is genuinely willing to walk away rarely has to. Not because he's playing a game, not because he's being strategic, because she can feel that his peace does not depend on her answer. Imagine this. You have a conversation with her. You say what you mean. You hold your position when she pushes back. Not with aggression, with stillness. And you don't chase. You return to your work, your mission, the things that were there before she arrived. Something shifts. Gottman Institute research, built on over 4 decades of studying thousands of couples, consistently shows that emotional steadiness and self-regulation are among the most powerful predictors of relationship success and attraction. The man who can regulate his own emotional state under pressure becomes the stable ground that others orient toward. The Walkaway Standard is not coldness. It is the deepest form of personal dignity. It is the ability to want something fully and still be at peace if it isn't for you. That peace does not go unnoticed. It is the most magnetic thing a man can carry into a room. Stop trying to win her over, not because she doesn't matter, but because winning her over has never been the goal. The goal is to become a man whose presence speaks for itself, a man who is grounded in his purpose, clear in his intentions, steady when things get uncertain. When she pulls back, you don't chase. You return to your mission. When she tests your character, you don't explain yourself into the ground. You stay rooted. When the noise gets loud, you clear code. You say what you mean, you hold your standard, and you let that be enough. Because here is the truth that changes everything. The right woman does not need you to perform. She needs to know who you actually are. And the only way she can know that is if you do. Most men will watch this and go right back to the same patterns. Back to the performance. Back to the borrowed confidence. Back to the noise. But not you. If you are done chasing approval and ready to build something real from the inside out, drop a comment right now. I am grounded. Let the community see who is actually doing the work. Subscribe if you are ready to become the man you were built to be. And if you know a brother who is caught in this trap right now, send him this. Today, not tomorrow. Stay strong. Stay grounded. Keep building. I'll see you in the next one.